Hello, I'm Mike, and last week OpenAI gave us a senior software engineer for just $200 a month. I'll show you exactly how to use Codex and make a workflow to make it even better to move fast. Here's the announcement post from OpenAI, and at the bottom they even gave us the system prompt so we can accurately design our workflows to work well with Codex. And yes, $200 a month for an AI employee that can code for me is a bargain. Take my money. Yes, that's right. I now have a new software engineering agent, and it's only costing me $200 a month as opposed to thousands of dollars a month for a human engineering agent. Now, if you're using Codex for the first time, you will need to connect it to your GitHub. This is actually super simple. I'm going to go ahead and connect it to the repo for Pimp My Thumb. Now, if you've been watching my Friday updates the last couple of weeks, you'll know I've been creating a small micro SaaS that essentially uses GPT-4o's image generator to make better versions of thumbnails. So we'll create our first environment. Okay, it's ready. Let's click Start Tasks. And you can see already it's got a few tasks here that it's decided to start on already without me even prompting it. And you'll also see now those tasks have names: explain code-based structure to newcomer, find and fix bugs, and fix typo, bug, documentation, and improve test. So essentially, without me even giving the first instructions, my AI employee is straight to work getting to know what we're working on together. This is very cool and the future of agentic coding. So I'm actually going to go and do some other things that I enjoy doing while my AI employee is hard at work. Meantime, throw a like and subscribe if you're enjoying so far. Let's dive in further. And boom, already it's given me a detailed instruction. It worked for 1 minute, 11 seconds. It's telling me all about Pimp My Thumb and that it's got Python packages and how to access it. Next up, we'll see what it's done for finding and fixing bugs. And here you can see my AI employee removed a duplicate import and also fixed returning a duplicate with an error on the thumbnail. And we can see here, there's that duplicate import it removed. And here's, yes, that's right, there's a line that happens twice in the code. And that is now fixed for me on automation. And here already as a pull request in my repo, I've got this by my AI employee. This is fantastic. If I love it and I want to get it into my app straight away, I'll just merge it. Okay, that's done. Let's redeploy my app and make sure that it didn't break. So I'm now on the server that hosts this. I'll pull the new updates, just a very small update here. And now let's cross fingers and hope things didn't break. Log back in with Google. Let's just check my library. Yep, that all looks good. Nothing is broken here. That's fantastic. Back to the homepage. And you'll notice actually I added just over the weekend a new menu item called feedback. Now, in my video last week, I did ask for some feedback, feature requests, bug updates to Pimp My Thumb, and you didn't disappoint me. But now I've integrated it into the website so that you can send me your feedback. And when you fill out this form, I've got a clever automation running in the background. This submits to a webhook, which is then picked up by Zapier and sent to an Airtable record where I can keep a record of everything you're asking me for. Here's that Airtable, and you'll see quite a few of you, including me, submitted some bugs and feature requests. Some really cool stuff here in my Airtable that's automatically captured from my feedback form and put here via a webhook inside Zapier, which is cool. So I can open these up and I can look at all the features, so make pages consistent. It should be mobile responsive. We've got an OpenAI error when the safety system kicks in, so we need to give a better feedback and make sure one token is not removed from the user's account. Some really good stuff from you. So now we'll get it into my Codex workflow, and I'm hoping my AI employee can do all these features and bug requests without me needing to be present. This is the future, and so very cool. Now, of course, I could just select your feedback and then Command-C to copy the feedback. I could go to Codex and paste that in and click Code to get it started on that feature. But that would be too easy. Let's make an enhanced way of prompting Codex so we can get the best possible results. And as I mentioned at the start of the video, I've been carefully reading the Codex system prompt so that I can create the ideal prompt each time I want to design a new feature or fix a bug. So with that in mind, every time you submit something and I want to approve it using this approved button here inside Airtable, I would like to create an enhanced prompt that I can paste into Codex. So that's why over here in Zapier, I've created a new or updated record trigger, which means every time I update a record and it matches the filter condition here, which is action exactly matches approved, we'll go on and make an enhanced prompt for Codex using Google's Gemini 2.5 Pro. Now, did you know if you have your code committed in GitHub, and you should, by the way, you can actually go ahead and change the G in GitHub to a U, and you'll get a flat text file right back with basically all of your code and the number of tokens. Now, this is not a large number of tokens, so any AI model can handle it, but as my repo gets bigger, this little feature here can compress down your repo to just the essential stuff and keep the tokens optimal. Oh yeah, and this GitHub also has an API, so you can actually integrate it into a Zap and fully automate everything. So with that knowledge, the next step in my Zap, if I approve something, will be to grab that code. It's going to be a get webhook. Now the URL will be my repo name, but with a U instead of a G for GitHub. Down here in headers, I had to create authorization bearer right here, and then I add in a GitHub access token that I generated to access my repo because it's private, and test this step, and boom, look at that. Immediately Zapier pulls in the code from Pimp My Thumb. That is so awesome. So far, we're watching for new or updated records. If it's approved, we're going on to get the Git code, and now we're going to bring in Google Gemini inside our Zap. I've already connected using my API key. Now note, with Gemini, it's no longer free. You have to pay for your API calls. Now this is probably the most important part so we can get the best value. First of all, for model, we're going to go for 2.5, and we're going to go for 2.5 Flash Preview. It's good for quick responses related to coding, and it's Google's most powerful model in a cheap form. Now for the system instructions and the prompt, and of course I'll link these up down below. I've done a lot of thinking about how I should structure this to get the best response to use for Codex. So for those system instructions, I'm saying you're a coding assistance AI, helping to write effective prompts. You'll focus on single task prompts. We don't want to give Codex overwhelm with loads of tasks. Maintain clarity and precision, avoid overly verbose descriptions, and write your prompt like this. The task, the location, this is the file paths, that will really help Codex to get to the files it needs to work with, and the goal, the desired outcome. So those are the system instructions for the AI, but for the prompt, we'll say, this is your task. Now the first bit here is going to be the feedback we received from Airtable. So let's bring that in right here with a /, and then describe how to best do it with this repo, and then we're going to put in what we got back from our get Git code, which is all here. So now you'll see we've got solid system instructions, and we've got a prompt with what the task is and context of the repo for Google Gemini. It's all there, see? Test that step. And you'll see here that Gemini has come back with a very precise prompt for Codex. It's even given the location of the correct files that need to be changed and exactly what it needs to do. So now we've done all this in a Zap to automate things, let's get it back to my Airtable. We're going to be updating a record. First of all, the record will match to the first step in the Zap, which contains the record ID. And then we don't need to change anything else apart from making sure the prompt that comes back from Gemini is inserted in the prompt field in Airtable. Let's continue and test. And there we go. We can actually see it's just been modified here with the complete prompt that we're going to send to Codex. Now, of course, I could just copy and paste that prompt into Codex, but copy and paste? That's so 1974. Let's create a new field in Airtable. It's going to be a URL field called start, and we'll add an extra step in between creating the prompt from Gemini and updating the Airtable record called formatter. Action event will be text, and we've got a load of values here, but let's type in URL, and we want to do URL encode. And as the value, we just put the response from Gemini. Convert space to plus should be true. Boom, that's URL encoded. We'll just refresh the fields, and there's our start field. So we'll put chatgpt.com/codex. Now this is the very important part. We'll put $prompt equals, and then here we're pulling in the output of the formatter, that URL encoded prompt that we want to send to Codex. We'll continue and retest. Back over here in Airtable, look at that, it's made a link. This is so cool. Now all I need to do is click that link, and boom, I'm straight inside Codex with my prompt pre-populated and ready to code at the click of a button. So with just a few automations, you can make things super simple. Now let's see if we can pick off some of these feature and bug requests from you for Pimp My Thumb. Let's make sure this is published. There we go. And now we can try this automation with anything. I'm going to go in order from the earliest submission right the way through to the latest stuff. Let's start with this one, which is basically a request from me saying the pages should be consistent, move the styles from HTML to a dedicated CSS file. That seems like a no-brainer, but when I was coding in Windsurf, it didn't do that. Okay, so I want this to happen in Codex, so I'm simply going to go through and approve that bug. That'll kick my Zap into action. We'll wait a second or two. And boom, look at this. We've got our first task completed and that ChatGPT Codex URL ready to use. Click and code. There we go. Codex is working on this. I'll go off and do something else like make a cup of tea. Okay, I made my cup of tea. That's hot. And while this works away, I can actually watch what it's doing over here. It's working in the terminal. We can see how it's whizzing through all these files really quickly. It's basically spinning up a virtual computer in OpenAI's cloud to do all my work for me. And by the way, whoever designed this animation deserves a raise. While it's working away, I'll also start approving some of these features so we can get enhanced prompts for Codex. Okay, wow, that's quite a lot of code modification, adding 571 lines and moving away 645. We can see everything it's done, and indeed it's gone through my feedback file and removed all the CSS styling. Same with index, removing CSS styling from library too, and adding it all into styles CSS. This seems to have done exactly what I've asked for, so without looking any further, I'm going to vibe commit this to my GitHub repository. I cannot even begin to explain how super cool this is. Merge pull request. Let's go ahead and do it. And considering that Devin costs $500 a month, I think OpenAI have made Codex a bargain at $200 a month. Now I'll pull those changes and redeploy my app. Looks good so far. Log in. Yes, I'm logged in. Now I can go to my library. Oh, it's all working and looking good. We can go to the feedback page. This is working and looking good. And of course, now if I look at the source code and search for styles, there's no styles apart from a reference to the style sheet. So in just the time it took me to make a cup of tea, my AI agent has gone and done all the coding for me better than I could have done. I think it's always good to fully test the app. Let's just paste in the URL of one of my latest YouTube videos and test the app still works. And yes, look at this. It has submitted this, so this is now processing. And one thing I notice when I right-click and I inspect, and then I go to mobile responsive view, well, this app is not that mobile responsive. Look, it's cutting off the top. Frankly, it's rubbish. Time to bring Codex to the rescue with the help of my enhanced prompts. So we'll open the enhanced prompt in Codex. Here it is, enhanced mobile responsiveness across the site. Tells all the locations, this is absolutely correct, and how you need to modify CSS and HTML. I trust this prompt now entirely. I also trust Codex, so let's code. And the best thing is, if I really get into the vibe of this, I can run multiple tasks at once, go to sleep, wake up in the morning with new features and bugs fixed on my app. Whoa, and in literally 2 minutes and 49 seconds, my app is now mobile responsive. We'll push this. Okay, here it is. Let's just merge it without thinking about anything, just confirm. And now we'll see if we can go from this rather yucky mobile responsive version to refresh. Look at that, a much better mobile responsive version with the credits on the left, profile on the right. Even in mobile view, we can see that we can beautifully scroll through this and it's all mobile responsive. Just a couple of prompts and we're there. Codex is truly elite. All right, now we're making great progress. Let's tick off all the feature and bug reports you've submitted since last week. Here we go, my Zap is executed perfectly, so let's run these in parallel. And again, as my AI assistant goes to work, I think I'll go and get more tea. As you can see here, I had this very unsafe thumbnail rejected by OpenAI's safety system. So let's try it again by using the same link. And with just one credit here, let's make sure I don't lose my credit when I try to generate. Notice while that's occurring, I've also got a sidebar over here now. And indeed, it did fail because of safety, but look, I've got my credit still intact. Not only that, if I visit the homepage and paste in a URL, I've now got some styles I can apply as per a feature request. Let's see what it comes up with. And there we go. There is the silly version of my thumbnail. That is really neat. I think I might actually split test that thumbnail. So there you go. OpenAI Codex now integrated into ChatGPT. Is it worth it? Yes. Yes. So yes, if you're working on building things, then you definitely need to get your hands on this and try it out for yourself. And let me know how you get on in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate you being there. Remember, I've got a community full of builders and you can join it. I've linked it up in the description. I would love to speak to you there and chat about Codex tips and tricks. But for now, YouTube is showing a video on your screen right now. You should watch next. Thanks.